Alright, Shalom,
Shalom.
Shalom. It's the GMS Virginia camp. First and foremost, like always, we would like to say, Call Haloyim, like Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahushua.
We would like to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who we learned the truth from. And Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakalium, Shal Yashala, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of the earth, waiting on the return of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach to deliver us out of his last captivity. We're just going to flow through the spirit, man. Let the spirit flow, and may the elect be edified wherever they are.
So we're going to start with Sirach 6, chapter 6 on down. Let's go with the spirit like the brother was saying. This is Sirach chapter 6, verse 1. And it says, instead of a friend, become not an enemy. For thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame and reapproach. Even so shall a sinner that have a double tongue. You know, and the scripture says, you know, don't be an enemy, you know, or whoever, you know, man, you've been affiliated with inside the camp, because we seen that, you know, if you fall out or if you do a certain thing that's wickedness, you know, we're gonna call you out for it, you know, and then that's when we start getting, you know, calling you names, like, you know, like some of these, you know, false prophets, like Bubble Eyes with GOCC, even though that's not his name, but we call him Bubble Eyes because, you know, he's speaking false doctrine. You know, then you got Yakko Wacko, you know, which is Yakanan, that, you know what I mean, that bug out dude, crazy, you know, stalking people, putting information out, crazy, man. You got other, you know, like Nat, I forgot what y'all call him.
Who that?
Nate.
Nate.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all call him, I forgot what it was.
Nasty Nate.
Ill name. You know, and he got, you know, and Israel tried and failed, man. You know, such and such, that's like, you know, basically, you get the premise of what I'm trying to say. So, you have to understand is like, you know, you don't want to be those guys, you know, that fell out, you know, and then also have an ill name, because, you know, that will look bad on your report, you know, and this is embarrassing. And then, you know, let's just say, for example, you know what I mean, if you redeem yourself, so to speak, you know, you want to be that guy like, oh yeah, remember that guy that used to do, you know, such and such, you know. But like I said, like I said, though, you can't be redeemed and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, but basically, you know, you don't have that resume on you. If brothers anything they gotta say, I'm gonna just keep going. And it says, extol not thyself in the counsel of thy own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull.
Yeah, hey, look, because hey, you're warned against the flesh and the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So read that verse again.
And it says, extol not thyself in the counsel of thy own heart.
Yeah, don't go off of your own mind, man. You know? And what does it say after that?
And it says that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your spirit, man. You don't want to lose the spirit that the Lord has bestowed upon you through this truth by going off of your vain understanding, man, thinking that your counsel is right instead of the counsel of the Lord. And when I say the counsel of the Lord, I'm talking about the men that he set up on the earth. Whenever you look at the Lord's people, the world is
Yeah. So, you know what I mean, the brother was saying, you know, you have to not take counsel of your own, because, you know, when like certain things go down, you know, you may be wrong, and the other part, you know what I mean, brothers may tell you right. But if you don't, you know, take heed to that counsel, you know, you don't want to be that, you know, that bull that's straying alone, you know, I mean, being, you know, this seat on your own side. You know, brothers don't understand what they're trying to say, you know. And I'm saying, it said, extol not thyself in the counsel of thy own heart, you know, thy own mind, thy soul may not be torn in pieces, because, you know, we have to take heed to these counsels of what we're going through, because you don't, you know, like I said, be the guy, you know, it's, you know, maybe part. And it says, thou shalt eat up thy leaves and lose thy fruit, and leave thyself as a dry tree, because if you have, like, you know, let's just say, you know what I mean, if you, you know what I mean, if you're a camp leader, and it says, you know, and then, you know, you try to, you know, bring discourse, you know, upon, you know, the brethren, you know, what you're supposed to look after under, you know, you may lose that fruit. And then once you lose fruit, you're going to be all by yourself, you know, looking dumb, you know what I mean, be asking questions like, damn, what happened to this? You know what I mean? What happened to the, you know, people that used to follow you? You know, people going to start asking questions, you know, and you're going to be feeling, kind of how you say, kind of say, Saki, trying to explain to yourself what happened, but you may make up excuse for lies, say, oh, sir, this didn't happen. You good, Akim?
Yeah, I'm just
Go ahead, Clark. I'm gonna keep going.
Weird sound.
Come. And it says, verse 4, and it says, a wicked soul shall destroy him that have it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. That's right. So if you have like a let's say the situation where that just happened, when you lose your fruit, right? And so you be out there in the hours and bars, you have scarfers coming up, they're gonna laugh at you and saying, yo, well, why are you by yourself? Where your fruit at? What happened? Such as that. Verse 5, and it says, a sweet language will multiply friends, and a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greeting. And also because being a cool kind of brother, trying to bring in fruit, so to speak, it says will multiply, then over time, the Lord sees you fit. It's like if the Lord sees you fit, you may have more fruit, to bring in. And it says, and a fair speaking of tongue will increase greetings. And also, because some brothers have, sometimes, especially like you can tell, some brothers, when they be out that houses and byways, like for example, like Israel, it's like the GMS Baltimore, the brother good at speaking, how to curse out the devil and stuff like that, and brothers be like dang, oh man, I want to join his camp, or he got that by himself, and people be listening, he be getting the views and the likes. But of course, it's not about that. But certain brothers just have gifts and talents of that. And basically, and like certain brothers like certain other brothers. Verse 6, and it says, "Be in peace with many, nevertheless, have not." So it says, "In peace with many, nevertheless, have counselor of 1,000." And it says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit. When you have some, let's just say, for example, that part is, when you have, somebody join, that wanted to join a camp, or somebody that's interested in him, you have to try him first to see if he's diligent, if he comes out every weekend, what he does behind the scenes, or, does he want to, how you say, study together, or does he have the time, basically, and if he's wavering, like for example, like let's say for example, you say, hey, I'm not gonna be here, I'm not gonna be higher. It's like I'm not gonna be higher this week, can you say next week, a cool brother, with a fair, good speaker to him, and good language, he'd be saying, yeah, you know what, that's fine, I know, I know what you're going through, you might be catching hell and just like that, and then next week, he make up another thing. It's like, I can't make it this week again. You start to question a little bit. So like, okay, okay. Next week, okay, but you gotta come out here, And then, if he doesn't come out here, and another weekend, the third week he doesn't come out, you be questioning, like, so okay, this brother not not be, taking it seriously as I thought. So, you try to come and say, man, you gotta be out here, it's like the third week, I know you're catching hell, what are you going through, but you gotta be out here, stuff like, you have to try brothers, to see if they're really about this, like I said, brother situation is different, but, that doesn't excuse the fact that, that you that you shouldn't be out here, because, the scripture says, prove a friend or try a friend, and the scripture does say, make your bodies a living sacrifice, because sometimes, you have to sacrifice sometimes of what you're doing, to get this word. And it says, verse 9, it says, and there is a friend who being turned into enmity and strife will discord thy reproach. And it says again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of their affliction, will be against thee, and he will hide himself from thy face. Like I was saying, you have to see, you know what I mean, if the brother's really serious about this thing, you know, because everybody will be tried in that day. So we have to pay, you know what I mean? So basically we have to stay strong in the faith of what we're doing. Come on.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 37 says, "He that love father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. He that take not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life shall find it." You know, going into what the brother is talking about, man, you got to give up your distractions that distract you from this truth, man. Whether it be your father, your mother, children, you know, and you gotta sacrifice yourself for this truth, man, because the Lord is trying to gather His elect, man, so that He can come and destroy this wicked place, man, and set up the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, that's the deal. You know, and if you're not about that, you know, count the cost. You know,
the water. So, you know, whatever brother's going through, you know, we've been through the same thing, you know. So, like I say, you know, no brother's different from any other brother. And I'm gonna keep going. And it says, verse 16, "A faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him." So, you know, a faithful friend is like medicine. So we have to understand that, you know, especially in camps, you know, some brothers, you know what I mean, we have to build that faith up together as well, because you know what I mean, a brother, you know what I mean, did a lot of things for other brothers as well, you know, like giving a brother, you know what I mean, a place to stay, you know, giving him food and money and situations like that. And those brothers, you know what I mean, that you got to keep around in this thing, man. Because we have a lot of, you know what I mean, niggas still in this truth, you know what I mean, that, you know what I mean, that don't like to help other brothers and basically just, you know, being there for themselves. Now, you know what I mean, some brothers, I mean, may not be good in financial situations. Well, you know, a brother has money, but, you know, he doesn't want to give, you know what I mean, not even a cent, you know, and the Lord looks at that, you know, and then sooner or later, you know, brothers like that are going to be weeded out in this thing. You got anything you want to say about the faithful friend?
No, you got it.
Okay. And it says, verse 17, and it says, "Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. As for he is, so shall his neighbor be also." And it says, "My son, gather instructions from thy youth up, so thou shalt find wisdom to thine own old age." And it says, "Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good." And it says, "My son, gather instructions from thy youth up, so thou shalt find wisdom in thy own age." And it says, "Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned, that he that is without understanding will not remain in her." You know, and that she's talking wisdom, understanding. And it says, "She that is unpleasant to understanding, and he that is without understanding will not remain in her." So there's certain wisdom and understanding if you don't get this thing, so to speak, you know, which is the wisdom understanding, you know, then that wisdom's not going to, you know, remain with her. And for example, a situation like that, you can understand about the confusion of faith, so to speak, you know. If they can't grasp it or understand the confusion of faith, you know, it just, you know what I mean, and we try to break it down to them like a simpler way, because we know that, you know, about the confusion of faith, you know, it's all about the spirit, you know. If they can't understand it, you know, whatever through the reason, then they're not going to get the understanding, you know. And that's why it says, "She is very unpleasant to the unlearned, and he that is without understanding will not remain with her." So, you know, something like that, like I said, because, you know, certain breakdowns, you have to understand that, you know, not everybody can't, you know, understand a breakdown, you know, and it's only for the elect. You know, that's where they got, you know, Israelites with different doctrines, man. So you have to be careful about what doctrine, you know, that you know, basically, you know what I mean, that you get into, you know. But of course, you know, the true doctrine is Great Millstone. And it says, verse 21, she will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from him ere it be long. It says, for wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. You know, that's right, because you know, the only, you know what I mean, the only people that can really understand the true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you know, is the elect, you know. And hopefully, you know, because of course, you know, I mean, mainly a great millstone, right? The house of David, the doctrine, you know, under the elders and down, can really understand this, because not everybody is not meant to get it. You know, that's why the scripture says, many are called, but few are chosen in this thing, man. And it says, verse 23, give ear, my son, and receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel. You know, and put thy feet into her feathers, and thy neck unto her chain. It says, bow down to thy shoulder, and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. It says, come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. So, you know, we have to be into this truth, you know, heartily, you know, to the best of our ability, and not waver away from what we learned sometimes, you know, because, you know, if we learn something, you know, and then we grasp it, and then, you know, we don't go back to it every once in a while, we start to forget of what we're doing. You know, so, you know, I mean, you have to keep that power and, you know, that spirit and whatever we do from the truth. Okay. So, you know, I just want to, so I'm wrapping it up real fast. It says, come to her, thy holy, and keep thy heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. Search and seek it, that she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou takest hold of her, let her not go. You know, so in this thing, so, you know, if we have something, you know, this truth, you have to hold on to the best of the ability, because at the end of the day, it's the only thing we got in this truth. You want to say any last words?
I got a precept
Come
going into what you're saying. Because you got to continue to do this it's like a muscle. You know, if you don't work your muscles, you know, they start to deflate. Just like in this truth, you got to continue to watch videos and continue to learn, or you're going to, you know, basically start forgetting. Sirach 18:7, it says, when a man have done, then he beginneth, and when he leave off, then shall he be doubtful.
Because we quick, you know, just to wrap this up, so I can just wrap this up, because we know that, you know what I mean, now's the time where brothers are, you know what I mean, I won't say getting exposed, but, you know what I mean, the Lord's gonna have the warning that, you know, brothers ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So now's the time, whatever they're supposed to be doing, you know what I mean, now's the time, because we have to understand, okay, you know what I mean, the elders not maybe, you know what I mean, people may not be watching whatever they're doing, we have to understand, but the angels are watching us, because the Lord said, you know, his eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun. So whatever brother's doing, we have to, you know what I mean, continue to do this work, man, or else, you know what I mean, you're gonna be exposed and have an ill name and be kicked out the camp. And, you know what I mean, I want nobody to go, you know, it's like, I don't want nobody, the brothers, to go through this, but you have to hold on to her, you know what I mean, that wisdom, understanding, because time is short and things are about to get hectic, and the Passover is just right around the corner. So, you know, I just made a quick video. Hopefully your brothers was edified. You know, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honor, that was a great millstone. Woo. Shalom to Yakim, my dad's pushing truth throughout the best of their ability, sincerely. Shalom. Stop streaming right there.
Yeah, just hit